In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the line of sight tool. The way the line of sight tool is, it basically gives you the ability to see what a unit can see geographically. To use this tool, I'll simply select the unit. It doesn't have to be friendly, it just has to be known. I'm going to go up to Game. I'm going to go ahead and select Map Settings, LOS Tool. Now, as soon as you activate this tool, you're going to notice these little blue patches up here. That represents the areas which this particular unit can see. In this particular case, if I was planning some sort of mission with this information at my disposal, I can now see that I can thread my way in and around in order to minimize the position in the danger zone. Keep in mind, you also have the ability to define how high up should be looking for given targets. Now, if I set this the same as Observer, this particular object would now only show you objects you can see at that particular altitude. Now, let's say we wanted to attack it at an altitude of 5,000 meters as opposed to doing the regular distance here. Now, because the target is going to be so much higher, it's going to be able to see a significantly greater distance around it. In this case, if I zoom out just a teeny tiny bit, you can see it covers almost this entire region. So one thing you want to keep in mind, though, is the more line of sight that you demand, the more stress you will put on your CPU. You can actually define exactly how many CPU threads should be used. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and drop the distance down to 30 nautical miles, and you can see it's a dramatically different line of sight here. Now, let's say I want to drop down my altitude to 2,000 meters. Press refresh. Now you can see even at 2,000 meters, I have a pretty good line of sight on everything that is around me. If I were to drop this to 1,500 meters, again, you can start to see that several mountains in this region are now blocking the line of sight of this particular platform. Keep in mind, if you're an air unit, you can do this in reverse as well. You also have the ability to define what type of horizon you're using, whether it's radar versus a visual. Obviously, this is going to be limited by the curvature of the Earth, depending on particular settings that you're using here. Another thing worth noting here is you have the ability to change the color of this LOS tool. So right now it's set to blue. If I'm in the middle of the ocean, this blue would be very, very difficult to see. If you click on this, you can actually define it as a different color, which will automatically change it. In this case, I selected a color that was a little too hard on the eyes there and a little bit aggressive. Let's drop that down to a light blue. And you can see very, very clearly which zones are completely covered by this particular LOS tool.